Beautiful piece. I hope you jump in today. Some of the lowest prices you will ever see when it comes to Imperial pearls. All right, so we are moving right along to this wonderful set. And basically it's, actually this is not the set, I have the set coming up. This is a beautiful way to wear a solitaire pendant. So you know that piece that you look for when you're running out the door, when you just want something that really looks good, pulls your entire outfit together. This is it. It's a 10 by 11 millimeter cultured pearl and topaz pendant. So sitting on top of that beautiful, perfectly round pearl, you're gonna get that white topaz. Doesn't matter which choice you make today in terms of color of pearl, you're getting that 32 points of that white topaz, and then your choices are, you can choose the white pearl, you can choose the blush, which is our most limited. You can choose the gray, which is kind of like this winter cashmere, almost like a slate gray that is gorgeous. Or you can choose the black, which is the look of a beautiful Tahitian pearl. Whatever one you choose today, they have that little white topaz sitting on top, which looks like a beautiful, generous sized diamond. When you think $12.48 to bring this home and put this around your neck or adorn somebody you love, that is a really small price to pay. And once again, when you think pearls, there's a lot of romance associated with pearls. You know, as I said before, pearls were cherished and beloved way before even diamonds. I mean, they have been beloved for hundreds of years. People love them because they used to think it was a stone from heaven, that it was, you know, the gods' tears. You know, some knights and warriors would wear them into battle, you know, on their you know, as an amulet or on their shields or on their armor, because it was something that they couldn't explain. That luster that it had, almost like how you saw those creamy colors in there, it was magical. And when you think it's an organic gem, that it comes from water, it just is irresistible. At these prices, you're not saying, okay, which one do I get? You're saying, how many do I pick up today? Because remember, it comes beautifully boxed. It comes with one of the most prestigious names in the pearl industry, and that is the Imperial pearl name. It's a nice, juicy pearl at 10 by 11 millimeters. And also, there's something to think about there. This is not fast fashion jewelry. This is precious sterling silver that is a genuine cultured freshwater pearl. And at that size, the 10 by 11, it takes a couple of years to bring that forward, to make this piece for you. So think about that. There is a delicate relationship between pearl farmer and God, or pearl farmer and nature, whatever you want to believe in. But when they tend to these pearls, they baby these pearls, they basically, some pearl farmers treat them as family because they're there every day tending to these beautiful pieces. So you get to wear something that really is magical and really is so very special. And I always loved pearls. I always loved jewelry since I was a little girl. My mom got me started on my jewelry collection. We had a family jeweler, as most families did, back in the 70s, right? When I was a little girl. And we had a family jeweler, and she would always buy me a significant piece. I have my very first aquamarine ring that is tiny. It's from when I was 5 years old. And so I loved pearls, but I wasn't fascinated by pearls until I became an accredited jewelry professional with the GIA. Here at HSN, when you're shopping jewelry, I want you to think about that. I want you to think about the relationships we've made with these amazing, prestigious jewelry companies. I want you to think that every host presenting jewelry for you is an accredited jewelry professional with the GIA. I want you to understand that we have quality assurance, and our quality assurance teams inspect every single piece before it gets out to you. So many different people taking a look at this jewelry to make sure that it is perfect for you, that is worth every single penny for you. Please keep in mind, it's a 10 by 11 millimeter pearl. It is a work of art. It was appraised modestly at close to $200. The lowest price we got back was $178. We've got it at the lowest price ever, but it is one day only. Think ahead, think gifts, think bridesmaids, mementos, think whatever you want to do, but enjoy these prices.